Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and let me go ahead and take these off because I feel like there's gonna be a ridiculous type of glare. Anyway, this is going to be a thoughts post, a thoughts video, and just in case you are new here or you haven't seen one in a while, because I don't do them that often anymore. This is basically the type of video where I come on here and I discuss things that are happening in the world or on these TV shows or movies that we watch. So tonight's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac is going to be the topic of discussion. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So, first of all, did y'all see tonight's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac? Because I did. I really wasn't even planning on watching it until tomorrow when I got off work. I was off today. Y'all, I had been up all night, finally went to bed at 11 o'clock p.m. Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with me, y'all. I don't know. But anyway, so got up 4, 5, 6 hours later, and I've been up and just trying to enjoy my day off. But I was like, I might actually watch The Real Housewives of Potomac tonight. And I actually did it, and I can't believe it, y'all. Excuse me, I'm making noises trying to get my hands right because I don't want to make any gestures and then my hands all ashy. And y'all, I'm very particular when it comes to stuff like that. And it's getting cold too. One year, it was so bad, and I never had this issue before. My hands started actually cracking because it was so cold. And I was washing my hands. I mean, this was before this year, of course. My hands were cracking because it was super cold and I was washing them a whole lot. And I mean, I wash my hands a lot anyway, but this was the first time I've been affected in that way. And I was just like, oh no. So I try to keep my hands moisturized. So yeah, anyway, back to the topic at hand. Y'all, so the episode started out and it showed Monique and Candice going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It was a continuation of last week, of course. And so I was like, Lord, okay. In my mind, I kind of felt like they were gonna just hype it up like they always do and just cut to nothingness and all that. I knew what happened in real life. I heard about it, but I didn't expect to see anything because on most of these shows, they do not show any of that stuff. They don't show these fights. I ain't seen no Jerry Springer type stuff in years upon years, so I was not expecting anything. They might show a half of a grab, but they don't usually show all of what we saw on this. But in my mind, I was like, okay. So anyway, let me just go over what happened, then I'll, give my assessment as to why it was actually shown in this case. So they're going back and forth. Those of y'all who have seen this show, y'all know that Candice is good for really like being slick with her mouth. She will sit up there, talk slick, and I guess she feels protected. So she doesn't feel like she needs to have a filter. She feels like I can talk all the mess I want to talk. I can say what I want to say, do what I feel. Nobody's going to try me. I'm good. And even in her speaking, she will really sit up there and be like, try me. Oh, you're going to do this to me? Oh, okay. Like on this episode, she was like, oh, so you're going to drag me? You're going to drag me? And I mean, she was so confident just knowing that nothing was going to happen to her. And the fact that it actually did happen, I was just like, I feel like you're as shocked as I am that you got drugged. You know what I'm saying? You got snatched up. And I'm not laughing at the situation. It's just, it's almost at a point where you have to be like, I gotta laugh to keep from crying. Like, this is crazy. Anyway, y'all, Candice was talking all that trash. And Monique ended up reaching over and grabbed Candice's wig. It took a good about 10 people to release her. And I mean, towards the end of it all, Monique still had her whole wig like this with just one hand. I was like, how, Sway? How? how is it taking 10 people to remove the grip that Monique has on her wig? That's what I'm just like. It took people like, Monique, let her go. Monique, stop. And I mean, she was like, ugh. I was like, oh my gosh, she got her whole wig. She had her wig like this. She had her like this. I was like, oh my gosh. Wait a minute. She had set it all the way off on Candice's wig. I just could not believe that it took like 10 people to remove Monique's hand from Candice's wig because of the grip that she had on it. I was just like, oh my gosh. And when she left, basically when they were separated, Monique walked away looking as if nothing had happened to her at all. She didn't even look like she was a part of the fight. I didn't even know until later on when somebody was like, is she bleeding? And she asked herself, was she bleeding? I was like, are you bleeding? I didn't even know she got a hit in. Or did you accidentally hit yourself? What is going on? Whew, child. I was just like, Lord have mercy. So, you know, I have questions for y'all. I need to know, do y'all feel like Monique was justified in her actions? Do you think that Candice got what she deserved? You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I just feel like Candice talks a lot of trash to people and she feels very protective. And I don't know if it's because of this false sense of security or whatever it is that her mother has given her, but she kind of comes off as though she is untouchable. And I don't know why. And I'm like, girl, you are just like me. You know what I'm saying? People just know you. Anybody can walk by and touch you. Anybody can walk by and cut you. Anybody can walk by and shoot you. You know what I'm saying? You are not untouchable. So I don't understand why she acts like that. I'm just like, girl. I ended up doing it like the day after and, you know, moments after it happened. You could tell that Karen was very upset about it because she's like cordial and she's cool with both of them. So she's like really on the fence about how all of this has gone down and very disappointed. Everybody feels as though Gizelle and Robin were very much so happy and like had this look of glee in their eyes when the situation first popped off. And I'm just like, woo child, I don't know. But it was a lot. I rewound that part about 3, 4, 5 times because I was just like, wait a minute. Isn't that one hand? Like I couldn't get over the fact that she had one hand, her grip on one, just one hand was gripping her, and Monique had this look like, but I'm not gonna let her go until I feel like it though. I was like, oh my gosh. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. There are people who have crossed my path that I'm pretty sure if they push me to that point, I would probably black out. I would black out. Like, that's why I just stay in my lane. I stay away from people that I know would try me. And I'm just like, going on now. Just leave me alone. Doing my work, leave me alone. That's why when I'm at work, I stay to myself. That's why when I'm at work, you stay over there. I know what I'm doing. You don't try to tell me what to do. I don't like when people try to roll and try to tell me what to do. I've been here for years. I know what to do at this point. I'm sorry. I hate when everybody want to try to be over you, want to be your supervisor. You don't run me. You don't run me. You don't pay my bills. You don't cut my check. Leave me alone. It's just like this woman a couple of months back. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. TMI. Go ahead and put that out there as a disclaimer. TMI. My menstrual cycle was on and I was dying. So I already didn't want to be at work. I already felt awful. Usually, I can reel it in and keep it in. But this woman who I cannot stand, And when I say I can't stand her, like, I don't hate anybody, but this is just the type of person who she feels the need to insert herself in every situation. Y'all, she's tried to tell me something that I can't do, all because she has her issue with our supervisor, because we have like 2 supervisors. And she was like, oh, well, this person, you might not want to do this because this supervisor gonna say something to you, or this person gonna say something to you. I was like, and I thought that I was gonna say it on the inside, like I normally do. This day, I straight up told her, I don't care nothing about what you're talking about, because I am not scared of this supervisor like y'all are. I'm gonna go do what I want to do. And I proceeded to walk off. And then it's like, after I walked off, I was like, wait a minute. I was really aggressive in that moment. And like, I really normally don't even get down like that. That's why I knew that I was like, okay, woo, my emotions are really, really out of whack. And when I tell y'all I cannot wait until I go into menopause and all this is over, y'all understand it's been getting worse and worse. I know that, like I said, I already gave y'all a disclaimer, TMI, but still, I'm just telling y'all, y'all understand, I normally don't do none of that to nobody. I normally don't get down like that. I normally just stay to myself. I'm hurting. I don't feel good. I'm quiet. Leave me alone. I'm doing my work. I came here to work, go home, leave me alone, bye. But that day, for whatever reason, it's like she saw me heading in a certain direction, and she just felt the need to interject and always want to put herself in a situation. Who are you? Leave me. I cannot stand for anybody to try to tell me what to do. And I already know what I'm supposed to do. I already know what I can do. Don't worry about me. I will deal with my supervisor. Ain't nobody never said nothing to me before. I can do what I want to do. I don't care what you're talking about. That's just how I roll. Like, leave me alone. Now, if this was a situation where it was something I really didn't know and, you really were trying to help me out, I would understand that. But she was coming from a place of just trying to run me. And I was just like, girl, y'all might be scared of the supervisor, but I'm not. I talk to the supervisor every day. He goes so far as to ask me how my family is doing back home in Alabama and all of that. Like, we have good conversations. Y'all are scared of him because y'all don't do no work. And then y'all get mad when he get on y'all. Y'all need to learn how to do some work, and then you won't have to sit up there and be petrified when a supervisor come by. Do your work and you ain't gotta worry about it. Y'all, I'm sorry I went off on a tangent, but I'm just saying. I'm just the type of person where as long as you don't try me, I am good. And it's like people, when it comes to me, people always want to try me because they think that I'm not gonna say something to them. They think that I'm not gonna respond. But the older I've gotten, the less I will take from people. Because I used to just sit there, just let it happen, be like, okay, they're going to say what they say, they're going to do what they do. Let me ignore them and just act as if they don't exist. When it comes to some things, I will do that. But when it just comes to stuff like that, leave me alone. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Leave me alone. Okay, y'all. So anyway, back to the Housewives of Potomac. Okay, so like I said, she was sitting up there, Candice, doing the absolute most. And then like they ended up whisking her away eventually. And she was just like, why do I have to leave? I don't understand. And they were like, this is for your own safety. Man, Monique came from out of nowhere running towards her, still trying to fight. I was like, oh my gosh. Now, this is what I'm not understanding. I understand how strong the beef is or whatever. I'm very conflicted because ever since Monique was introduced on this show, I've liked her. And this episode, this season has kind of shown me a different side of her slightly. And it's like, I've been kind of playing tug of war with the idea of her now. Because it's like, girl, what is going on? Like, why are you mad that somebody is talking amongst themselves and you're not included, all because you wanted them to come outside and sit there with you by the fire? They eventually came, but apparently there was a situation that needed to be discussed. Don't be sitting up here mad because they didn't say it to you or include you in on the conversation, because that's what it kind of comes off as. And it's like, I kind of try to see both sides, but I'm just like, girl. And it's like, like I said, I'm already conflicted. I never really cared for Candice like that. But this season, I've just been like, oh, Lord, it's just too much stuff is leaning towards her favor. Whether or not she was actually being genuine in her, I'm sorry tour for everybody, and I'm trying to move forward. I want to be cordial. I want us to be able to coexist, even if we are on trips together or just in the same room at events. I just can't really read her like that. So I don't know if she was being genuine when it came to that, but it just seemed like she really was trying to make amends. So, and then Monique was just looking like she was ready to pounce at any moment. I'm just sad about the fact that Monique went physical first. She went to that physical level first. And instead of thinking of her kids, she has 3 kids. All of her kids are pretty young. And I was just like, oh my gosh, she didn't think about not now one of her kids. She has 3 whole kids and a husband. And she didn't think of that. She didn't think of her businesses, because she has businesses. She has a brand to protect. And people might not want anything to do with her. Or she might lose out on business opportunities and connections that she could have been making when they see stuff like this. This stuff is going to be out there. They've already had other stuff out there. Like, when did this stuff like, if I'm not mistaken, what's this, almost a year ago? And around Thanksgiving or something, they were gonna issue a warrant for her arrest, or they wanted her to show up to be interviewed or something last year. And then they kind of were like, okay, well, we'll wait until after the holidays, but she was going to turn herself in, and then they dropped the charges or whatever it was. And I was just like, girl, you could have been put in jail. But I think Candice was like, nah, I'm not going to go forward with whatever, or evidence was found. I don't know. I don't even remember no more, but I was just like, whoa, wait a minute. Wow. It's a lot. It's just a lot. So, I don't know, y'all. I would be on this for forever. I've already been talking for 20 minutes because I ended up talking about my stuff too, y'all. Kind of trying to tie it in there. So, I apologize in advance for anybody who thought that was too much. So, yeah, y'all. Let's move on to the next part of it. I'm going to try my best to be brief on this because I'm tired. I don't and never have liked Ashley's relationship with her husband. It's something about it I already talked to y'all about before. When she first got on this show, she hadn't even been with him married for 5 years, and she had a prenup that basically said that if something happens to where we are not together and we end up getting divorced before 5 years are over or up or whatever, then you won't be getting nothing, Ashley. And she has surpassed that. And now on this episode, she was asking if the two of them could sit down and create something that could be a post-nuptial agreement so that she and baby Dean can be okay if something were to happen, like what has happened and has been put out there in the blogs and all that about her husband yet again. And so he was like, we can talk about it. And I'm like, that's not specifying that he is here for the actual situation happening in the documentation part of it. He's just saying what he is saying for the camera. And until I see documentation, I wouldn't believe it. But I don't know, y'all. But I'm tired. I'm just like, girl. And then, like, ain't she pregnant in real life again? It's like, why? Why? Like, I know other people do sit up there and they will create life in order to have money because the person that they are having these babies with has money. So they feel like, okay, if I have these babies, I will be taken care of for the rest of my life, or at least for 18 years. And if I can't get my life together in 18 years and siphon off of some of this money, especially if they are a baller or somebody who has a great amount of money, then that's me being dumb. And I'm just like, girl, why? Why you get pregnant again by him? But anyway, I just don't like it. I ain't here for it. And as I've been saying for the longest, I feel like Ashley is his beard. I don't care for their marriage, and it is what it is. Whatever. Last thing I want to talk about. Gizelle being with Jamal Bryant, who is, in my opinion, a fake pastor. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I was here for her daddy at the end of this episode. So she has eventually, you know, she's finally come to grips with, okay, I'm gonna be with him and whatever. So her and the kids, they all packed up. They were gonna go to Atlanta for the weekend or for however long. And the girls were going to see their restaurant. Their father bought them a restaurant called Arizona's that had been, you know, shut down for whatever reason, and they were reopening it and having a grand reopening, and it had already been running and all that, but they were going to do a tour of it and all this. My first issue was, why was it that production or whoever sat up there and said Gizelle's restaurant opening or whatever it was? I was like, excuse me, was this whole thing a plot or a lie or whatever to begin with? Because I could have swore you said that this business was your children's business. So instead of them saying Adore, I can't remember the other two kids' names, this child's grand opening or whatever, they didn't put Gizelle's name up here. And I'm like, okay, more attention for her. But anyway, I ain't here for it. I don't like that. Get them children they do. Don't sit up there and say this their business, but then y'all sit up there and then y'all put it as it's her business. I don't like that. Anyway, I don't care what nobody say. The fact that his own kids ain't here for the two of them being back together, that speaks volumes, and I'm here for it. He been a cheater. I feel like he's still cheating. Wouldn't surprise me if he was cheating with me too, and I have been saying that for the longest, for years, before she was even on this show. Because I have been hearing about him long before this show. Because when they actually showed her on this show, I was like, wait a minute. This the person he was married to? Oh, okay. Like, what is going on? I just knew about all the heifers he'd been sleeping with. I just kept hearing about all these random heifers. I was like, oh, okay, well, excuse me. No, he had no wife, but all right. I guess she was just there because he was a mega pastor and he had all this money. So anyway, the end of the episode showed Gizelle's father. You know, he'd already earlier in the episode, you know, when she told him that they were back dating and they're trying to be a family again, he was like, okay, I just want you to be happy. And he was there, and she asked if he could be there for the grand opening for the kids' restaurant. He said, yeah, I'll be there and all this other stuff. Jamal said something about how he's glad that he's there. He was like, I'm glad to be here for my grandbabies. I'm just be happy. Okay, cool. He was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead, dip out here and go to the bathroom. They showed the ceiling or something. And they showed where he was speaking. It was like, go ahead, take this mic. Y'all might well go ahead, take this mic off of me. I ain't here for none of this. He got 6, 7 baby mamas out here. I don't want my daughter to be done like this. She out here looking crazy. I was like, oh, the daddy just set it off. And like earlier in the episode, in her confessional, they asked, how many kids does Jamal have? And she was just like, I don't want to answer that due to the integrity that there should be for the mothers and the kids or whatever and all this other stuff. I was like, girl, what they got to... Didn't nobody say name off the mamas and name off the children. It just said, how many kids does he have total? When her daddy said 6, 7 women, I said, oh God, no, 6, 7 baby mamas. I said, sir, no. I knew he had kids, but I was like, 6, 7 baby mamas. Oh Lord. Whoa, child. It's just like the not Eddie Long, even though he had some stuff with him. It's like the Creflo Dollar mess. Like, I ain't been here for Creflo Dollar since he choked his daughter out. I ain't got time. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say on all of this, y'all. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all thought about this episode. Do y'all think that Monique will end up doing some time or having to do some kind of community service because of all this stuff? Do y'all think that the reason why they even showed the fight to begin with, because y'all know that a lot of these shows do not show fights. They ain't showed fights in years, like full on. They showed the entire fight. I ain't seen nobody do that in I don't know how long. Do y'all think that this was shown as a way to kind of defend Candice and help her case or something? Like, what do y'all think the reason behind that was? Do y'all think that Gizelle's relationship is gonna last? I ain't even go into Karen's situation, but y'all already know she might need to go ahead and get divorced. I'm tired of seeing her and Ray. He don't know what's going on. He don't know if he in love with her. It's too much. Anyway, y'all, thank you for watching. I might see y'all later on for something else. Bye.